scored.
Hey,
What the
hey,
hell kind
Well,
of
that
how fast
overtime's
are
in
you
play
ahead
now.
of me
We're
over
1-1.
Overtime's
Look at that
in
1-1.
play.
I'm telling you, we're going to overtime at 2-2. We're going to
Don't worry
overtime at
about
You
the
called it. You
pigeon.
said 2-2.
Yep.
Yeah.
The pigeon's fine. He's a good bird. Let's have
Okay,
a
so-
great
So
game.
what do you think of Murphy, Lou, and Barbosa?
Back to Murphy. The question is, can Murphy touch Barboza sometime in 5 rounds to put him out? Barboza's susceptibility is his chin. I'm not so sure. What I really like in this fight is the over. I think these 245 pounders are going to compete for 5 rounds, and you got a 3.5 round total. I like the over in this fight with 2 competitive fighters. Barboza's a warrior, ain't going anywhere, and Murphy's stepping way up in class and has had trouble against more nominal fighters than Barboza. Look for a decision, and I'm not going to try and call who wins the decision. I'll just be happy if we can get to over 3.5 rounds. That's my angle there.
I agree with you. I like the over of this fight when I was looking at it. And also, okay, it's a tougher spot. You're fighting at the Apex. If this fight was in England, Lou, fine. But I like Barbosa's seen it all, right? He's been there. He's done that. I think in a fight that's going a distance, we've got a live dog here with Edson. I'm going to roll the dice, old school, Lou, Barbosa. Barbosa and the over, baby.
I think that's a good, smart bet. I'm not really going to play a side. I go one side, then the other. That means leave it alone, but it would not surprise me to see Barboza win this fight whatsoever. He's been in with the elite of 2 different divisions and has been in with way better than what Murphy's ever seen.
There's some really cool names on this card. You better be good when your name is Chaos. Chaos Williams. So you got Chaos on the card. Vinicius Salvador as well. Yeah, what do you think about that Harris fight with Williams? Should be a chaotic fight, pardon the pun.
No, and you're exactly right. That's the fight of the card. These 2 guys going to stand in the middle and give it a go. I think Williams, who does have some wrestling, can pose some problems for Carlton Harris. But Harris has got some real bangs, and these guys are going to get it on. Fight of the night right there.
That voice you heard was Lou. I am Gabriel Morency. Shout out to all of our AM radio affiliates stepping up and in. Level 3 has begun and continues. Sirius XM Channel 159 on the SportsGrid radio and television networks. Lou from Gamblu.com with us just for a couple of more moments. And Lou, we've got a new audience joining us right now in SoCal. Shout out to everybody joining us on the Money 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal in the house, amongst others. So we'll give you the floor, Lou, on the way out here, because we're going to be here for the next 55 minutes here still. So words of wisdom as far as the UFC Fight Night card tomorrow. And we should note for West Coasters, it's in the afternoon, actually, right? First fight's up at 1 o'clock, and you like the first fight. So for people just joining us, just give a quick recap of what we just went over.
Yeah, the fights are going to start at 1 Pacific. So the first fight, we have an athlete, Vanessa Demopoulos. Just remember the cute young Greek gal. She's a huge underdog. I think she's live. This one goes to the judges. The next fight, you have a Chinese fighter in Hae Lee who fights a guy out of Brazil named Rodriguez. Hae Lee is a live dog. When you get to the top of the card, Chaos Williams fights this Carlton Harris in fireworks. This is not gonna go to decision, but I do like Chaos Williams as a slight favorite here. He's been in with better. And then in the main event, you have Edson Barboza at 145 pounds fighting England's Lerone Murphy. That's going to be a very competitive 5-round fight, the way I assess this. And I would surely go to the over 3.5 here. I also do lean slightly, as Gabriel does, to Edson Barboza as a plus 120 or plus 125 underdog.
Look, we got about a minute here. Let me ask you, and you're a very analytical guy when it comes to knowing like the favorites and the numbers. Is there any sort of quirk at all? Do you think of anything differently when they fight in the Apex as opposed to in arenas with fans? Like, is there anything different? Do they judge it different? Like, in your mind is anything different for you when it's in the Apex?
The cage is 25 foot instead of 30. And so wrestlers have advantage, especially if they're 170 pounds or larger and they require wrestling. They have
You're forced to fight
confines.
in this cage.
That's right. That's right. And so any other pay-per-view cage is 30 foot. You have a lot more real estate. So I favor grapplers at the apex, but it's mostly for them. It's like fighting in their gym and in training, and it's a little bit different. I listen to the fighter interviews to see which fighter really is come focused and doesn't mind the apex. I can tell you there's a big bomber. Vinicius Salvador fights Adrian Yanez. Yanez is a huge favorite, but he gets hit. And this Vinicius Salvador is moving up from 125 to 135 to take him on. He's got some power. He's not afraid. He opened plus 150. He's now plus 320. That's too much against a guy that gets hit. There's a bomber for you. You might want to invest just some lunch money in.
You know, I had a fighter that's fought in the Apex a couple of times. Although it's a little different now from when they started, when there wasn't really anybody in there. But now there's families and there's people in there now. But I was told, Lou, by more than one actually, they said that they liked the strikers like the Apex because the judges hear the shots more. And
sure.
another Cam. So it's quick. You know what I mean? The loud
Sound
arena and
quality,
stuff.
yeah.
So you throw a punch, it sounds more. And another thing is, the two fighters told me this. They said if you talk more smack in the Apex, the judges buy into it more. They hear it more.
So jerks do better in the Apex.
Yeah,
Hockey,
like so.
hockey
Like,
fighters. Yeah.
They hear. So yeah, the punches and sort of the ooh and the not like smack, but like just sort of.
Well, just
they're right there. They could buy into it more than the arena guys when it's all loud and the judges are sort of they can't hear everything. You know what I mean?
And as a fan watching, you can listen to the corners talk to each other, and sometimes
way more.
A fighter will hear the other corner, and the fighter will respond to the corner.
And more famously,
thanks for the game plan, buddy.
they'll hear Cormier saying what they should do, and they'll do it. Like sometimes,
yes, exactly. That's right.
There was a guy, and Cormier was like, he needs to roll over, and he needs to do this. And Buddy said after, he goes, I heard Cormier, and he goes, he was right. So,
so I did it.
Amazing. Yeah. Hey, guys, an analyst for a reason. Exactly.
There's nothing worse than the MMA, the UFC corner that's yelling at a fighter that's on his back to get up. Like, he doesn't know, need to be told he needs to get up. He knows he needs to get up. You gotta get up. Like, you got the rain on. You gotta get up.
Devastating loss to Georgia Tech, where they made significant coaching errors. But Miami, with all of these changes, obviously looking to churn over this roster and upgrade the talent level.
Don't sleep on Rick Pitino. Listen, at the end of the day, the portal is the portal, Mike. Don't matter where you came from, it's where you're going and how much money can you get.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify in these majors. You got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness. And I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. Mm-hmm. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now. And you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We got a 1-1 hockey game. 11 minutes left in the period. Both teams are buzzing around. I'd say though that Dallas now look like the better team. This game has gone sort of back and forth as far as little tug of war. The last period, Colorado were really dominant, man. They were buzzing around. It was a scoreless game. They finally broke through. It was inevitable. I said, oh, they're about to score. And then they did. Dallas have responded with an early goal in the third period. So we got a 1-1 game right now. And now Dallas really creating a lot of pressure, cycling the puck. We got in. We're already on the Colorado Avalanche in this game. I thought Dallas would win the series, but the way these playoffs are going, I thought Colorado had a good performance. And they are playing good, so we'll see what happens. But then we decided to jump in, of course, live in-game. Plus 275 that this game would go to overtime after the second period. And that was crazy, guys. Normally after the second period of play in a tie game, it's like plus 165 or so, plus 160, 175 for a game to go to overtime, not plus 275. So we gave you the plus 275 to go to overtime, and we'll see if this hits. Sometimes we're just playing a number. Even though I'm already on Colorado to win the game, this game really could end up to go to overtime. 5-3 for the Los Angeles Dodgers right now. Tony Finn steps up and in. Straight from the strip in Las Vegas, Nevada. What's up, Tony? You're looking nice and suntanned. You're looking good. What's up?
I am suntanned. Yeah, I'm trying to. My makeup girl didn't show up, so you're gonna have to live with sunburns. And I never get sunburned, but nice and warm here in the valley, and things are well. How about you guys?
I know you don't play golf, so what? Did you fall asleep by your pool? I know you got a nice pool with waterfalls and like you got a beautiful pool. So, did you fall asleep outside or something? Because you're cooked.
Yeah, you
well,
are
I don't
cooked.
sleep. I don't sleep very much, but yeah, but it doesn't take. I get tan pretty fast, and in fact, I've been accused of lying or not. That's not your picture. Look, you're not the same color there, so no comment.
You're the second orangest person in America after Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I got to be honest.
Seriously.
Like you're,
And George
actually
Hamilton.
third after Joe Ranieri.
Yeah, George Hamilton. Hey, what about George
Oh
Ranieri?
no, not after Joe Ranieri, because Joe Ranieri.
Joe Ranieri. After Trump, Joe Ranieri is the most orange person, red person, orange. So you're right up there, though.
He only hangs out at Dunkin' Donuts. How did he get orange? I don't understand.
It's true. Joe's on the air so much in his studio. I don't know how he's got it 10, but man, I've seen Joe sometimes in the summer in Miami. Like he's like he looks like the Cincinnati Red Hat. Like he's red.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he's cooked. But no, Joe Ranieri's
best.
got like a permanent tan for the rest of his life. There's no turning back. But I didn't realize I've never seen you this cooked, Tony. I've known you for a while. I've never seen you this cooked before. It's not even really summer yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you see in the summer, you'll see me. I'll be just about as brown as I get. Really brown. I mean, I get brown. Brown.
You look like a San Diego jersey, which I want to thank you for.
Chihuahuas. I look like a
I
chihuahua.
get red, real red. Then I blister.
Yeah.
Then I pass. Then I have a heat stroke and do a starfish at a Dairy Queen. Tony, I had heat stroke and I literally hit the deck at a Dairy Queen. It was crazy.
So here's the Ken Caminiti San Diego jersey, Tony. I appreciate it.
That's
Great
very
gift,
nice looking
Tony.
jersey, brother. Very nice.
Classy move. Classy, Tony.
What are you doing? What are you doing with that? You going to hang that up or are you going to wear it?
He's going to frame it.
I didn't give him the frame.
But I am a Dodger fan, right? So a little bit of problem. San Diego jersey on the wall, but it is a beautiful jersey. And I told you, I'm a big Ken Caminiti fan. May he rest in peace. Epic baseball player, great guy, and we appreciate the jersey, Tony. It is a beautiful addition to the collection. So I don't know if you saw on Twitter, I included you in the and we had a guest last night that gave Cam a Steve Largent jersey.
Really?
Cam's already got
Steve
a present.
Largent.
He doesn't need another one.
I'm good. Yep. I'm very satisfied. Thanks, Higgs.
Well, you got to you got to hang that jersey up, but you can't just hang it on a coat hanger or something like that.
No, I'm going to frame it. I'll make you a deal. I promise I'll do the Gabe treatment to it. This thing's not going to be worn to bar. No, it's going to be like in glass. Okay?
He's about to find out, Tony. And Tony has a lot of autographed jerseys. The damn frame is more than the jersey. The frame is the pain in the ass. That's the one that's like.
Yeah. Yes, especially if it's a glass, like that.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. I nearly bought a Wembanyama. I wanted a Wembanyama jersey. He's going to be a massive star. We all know, whatever. Like, dude's awesome. And I thought it was kind of cheap by like modern day standards. It was an autographed San Antonio Spurs Wembanyama jersey for like $700, and authenticated, like it was from NBA.com type of deal, like Fanatic, whatever. And I was going to get it, and then I was thinking, it cost me another like $400 or $500, and then like. My last jersey I got, I'm in a freaking Uber trying to squeeze in this big frame like Pedersen jersey in the back of this Uber. It turns into a production. So I'm thinking next time I do it, I might just order the one already in the frame. Then it's like an extra whatever, a couple $100. So then you don't have to do anything.
That frame that you had with Caminiti, the frame I had was huge frame, weighed, it was really heavy. It made no sense to give you the frame to put on an airplane and carry.
I know what it's like, Tony. These things are freaking heavy as hell. Trust me, I know. They're a load to deal with. That's why I'm almost like no more frame jerseys for me. I'm done. And you know what? Yeah. I saw a really cool thing, and I wish I got it. It's a great idea. The frame opens. So you unscrew it at the bottom, and you can change the jerseys cam on it. So you can say, all right, now I want to put my Kershaw jersey back up.
Yes,
right?
Yes, with the screwdriver. You bring it out, put a new one in.
Mine's like this custom, it's heat printed, it'll last forever, and you can't touch it. So it's locked in there. It's like a butterfly in glass.
Nope. Got to be able to get a new one in there. They should always have the option to grab a screwdriver and put something new in.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I could switch jerseys, right? Every day or every couple of days. I put a new jersey up in the frame.
I know a person in the framing business. I'll get a really good deal for that large jersey, so I'm not worried about it at all.
Yeah. So there's our frame segment of the week, brought to you by San Diego Framers.
Yeah, where's our window money?
Come down to Mission Beach. We're going to hook you up with a nice frame. Exactly. Frame your jersey for you. So 5-3 Dodgers right now. 1-1 in this hockey game. So Tony Finn with us from Wager Talk. I've been surprised actually by a lot of people. Like Dave Delano surprised me the other night. He's in Texas and he was like down with the hockey. He was like, I got hockey props, he's betting this and that. You still abstaining, are you? Like, do you even know like Dallas and Colorado are playing right now?
Oh yeah, I do.
Devastating loss to Georgia Tech, where they made significant coaching errors. But Miami, with all of these changes, obviously looking to churn over this roster and upgrade the talent level.
Don't sleep on Rick Pitino. Listen, at the end of the day, the portal is the portal, Mike. Don't matter where you came from, it's where you're going and how much money can you get.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka
is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency. 5 minutes left in the hockey game. You want an even game. There's 5:19 left in the game. It's 1-1 in the hockey game. And there's 21 shots on goal per team. It's as even as you're going to get. It's as even as you're going to get. So we've got Colorado to win the game, and we've got the game to go to overtime. So ideally, let's get this game into overtime and then have Colorado win the hockey game. Cam wants Dallas to win the hockey game.
Yeah, I love how you say we. I know I got Dallas plus 1.5. I got the under, and we got the game to go to overtime. We can do this. Hey, if Colorado wins by 1, it's still not bad. But sorry, Gabe, I got futures on Dallas. I need this thing to end tonight. I don't deal with game 7s very well. Let's go.
I watched the Boston Florida game. Give you an example. Boston butchered that game. They should have won that. I mean, they really. They had a lot of mistakes, some turnovers. I thought they were
Swayman let in the worst goal he's ever let in. The guy saves all the hard ones. Gabe, it was the cheesiest goal. That's what we talk about. Shoot the damn puck at the net. He was off the post, and I'm like, oh my God, how'd that go in? Crazy.
Boston played well, Tony, but in the NHL this week, there's been a theme where teams are getting scored on, like in the last minute. Like it just, boom, there's these like one mistake. You make one mistake in hockey. Looking at last night, too, it's not being talked about. We talked about Connor McDavid earlier, but he was actually the one. JT Miller scored the goal, and Connor McDavid got lost. It was Connor McDavid's guy, and he got lost on the play, and he got caught nowhere, and then boom, that's what allowed JT Miller to score. So it happens like, we were criticizing Ian Cole last night. Oh, you can't do that. But even the best players, like, man, the puck is moving fast. The tensions are high. And I tell you, man, in the last, minute of these games, 2 minutes of these games, they don't say it. Nobody's going to say it on the bench. Don't make a mistake, right? Yeah. But it's going through everybody's head. Don't F up. Don't F up. Don't F up. Just get it out. Get it out. Like, don't. And they overthink it. And you see it, man, over and over, like all week. Like, and I'm almost thinking now, like, it would not shock me, guys, if somebody scores in this game with 20 seconds left. It'll be like, oh my God, the game's over. It'll probably be Dallas because home fans seem to have their heart broken more often than not. That seems to be the theme. Gabe? Pay big money to go to a game to watch your team lose in overtime. I've done it.
I'll give Vancouver so much respect in that game because Edmonton had a little flurry, and then JT Miller and Pettersson, the way they set that thing up and score. When you score that late, too, the Oilers were just sitting there going, man, we don't even have time to get the goalie out of the net, the extra man, because they scored so late in that game. They only had the
Oilers came.
Seconds.
They were playing to go to overtime for the last 2 minutes. You could tell.
Yes, correct.
They were trying to kill the time. They were sort of like, okay, let's just get out of this, and we're happy we're going to overtime here. It's a good spot to be in. And that was all Pettersson. Pettersson was the one that didn't give up. He kept on just pressing it, and it wasn't pretty. He fell down twice on the sequence. He had the puck at the blue line, and he nearly turned it over. And he fell down. It was like, bro, you're trying to do too much now. And he fell down, but he got up, and he poked the puck forward, and then he's falling down behind the net, and he was all over the place, but he created the play. But, yeah, one little mistake, man, and then boom, game, set, match. So, there's no lock. This game's going to end up in overtime, even though there's under 5 minutes left. Tony, any action for you on this Los Angeles Dodgers-Cincinnati Red game right now? And the Dodgers have just broken it open, 7-3 for the good guys.
Yeah, I tell you, I left some money on the diamond tonight, but I did. The Houston bullpen finally beat me. I've done pretty well against Houston, but I went against their streak. But I'm on the Dodgers -3. I have an alternate run line -3.
So you like that they're up by 4 right now?
I do like it by they're up by 4. I would prefer they be up by 10. That's what I prefer.
All right, you got an out. I'm watching it right now. You got an out. You got 2 outs to go. You just the dreaded solo shot. That's what you've got to avoid here. Sorry, just to bring it up, but the solo dreaded home run.
You can't. Listen,
I laid 3 runs. They're up. Here it is.
Yeah, you can't mush me. I mush myself. You know what I mean? So, I'm all about. In this situation, I like it. Nobody's on. The worst case scenario, at least the worst case scenario with one swing of the bat right now is I push. So what the hell, right?
I see you got a Tatis jersey there too. What's your favorite autographed jersey you have, Tony?
Wow. I have my favorite is a Bucky Scribner, which I went to played football with. Nobody's gonna know who Bucky is.
The punter for the Minnesota Vikings, Bucky Scribner. I have his card. It's worth 4 cents.
Right.
Amazing.
That's right. the jersey, priceless.
You know what, Tony? I'm going to find it for you.
Devastating loss to Georgia Tech, where they made significant coaching errors. But Miami, with all of these changes, obviously looking to churn over this roster and upgrade the talent level.
Don't sleep on Rick Pitino. Listen, at the end of the day, the portal is the portal, Mike. Don't matter where you came from, it's where you're going and how much money can you get.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
One. 1 minute and 11 seconds left in this hockey game. The Dallas Stars are pressing, though, right now. They're in the zone. And as we stated, it's been a theme of the week all week. On a nightly basis in the NHL, there's been really late goals in these games that are just daggers, that there's no time for the other team to come back, and there's nothing to do. And it's been the road team a couple of times. But here comes Colorado down the other end. That should have been a penalty. I understand about letting them play, but that's a penalty. Like, you tripped it, dude. Like, that's a blatant, dude. If that's the Vancouver Canucks against the Oilers, that's like a double minor suspension. But all kidding aside, Colorado should be on the power play right now, and it should carry over in overtime. But there's 20 seconds left, and there's end-to-end action going on even in overtime. Neither team's really playing. I'd say that Colorado's playing for overtime more than Dallas is. Dallas, you can tell, are trying to finish it off here.
Yeah, I'm right.
And they just flicked it at the net. Good job by Dallas. Smart. So that's smart hockey. There's like 15 seconds left. They're at center ice. Some teams would and I just said they're trying to win. Some teams would just chip it in and that'd be the game. It'd be like, all right, we're going to overtime. You dump it in the corner, and there wouldn't be enough. Like, it would be the end of the period. He flicked it purposely right at the net, and it forced a face-off. Like, put it this way. Like, if they win the face-off and they score a goal, that's like legendary what Robertson did. They'll look back after and they'll go, dude, you flicking the puck at the net was genius because that's what got us that face-off. So here's the face-off right now at 11 seconds. They did not win the face-off. And we are going to overtime.
We win our bet, Gabe. Plus 265, 70.
Plus 275. We hit it.
Beautiful.
I'll tell you, man. I've given one of these like big plus money wins like pretty much every night on the show this week in the NHL. Plus 275. Another one. Cash it.
I appreciate when people say thank you when you're giving them first round leaders and great overtime picks. I found an Andre Reed card for you, Gabe. Andre Reed rookie card, right there. Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Bucky
the
Scribner
legendary
for Tony.
Andre Reed.
Yep, R-E-S-B-E-C-T. A Jim Kelly pass to Andre Reed. Love the Bills, man. It was amazing.
It's Thurman Thomas's birthday today, actually.
Is it really?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it?
Cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't really generally know that, but I happen to know that. I don't know everyone's birthdays, but
great backfield in Oklahoma. You got Thurman Thomas.
No, I saw
and
a
Barry
tweet.
Sanders.
I saw a tweet today. Somebody tweeted out, and I said, "Look, but Thurman Thomas had a great card with Andre Reed." But yeah, no, Thurman Thomas is my favorite Bills player of all time. So that's why I knew, because I tweeted out. I said, "Oh, happy birthday to Thurman Thomas." After I saw, I think he turned 58 today, and he's beloved in Buffalo too. Another one that hangs around a lot in the area. I don't know if he lives there all the time, but a lot of those old school guys do, and they're not from there. Thurman Thomas isn't from from Western New York. So the Dodgers win the baseball game. Congratulations, Tony. You win your bet.
Thank you. Thank you.
7-3, they win. San Francisco, I tell you, Colorado are giving teams all they can handle over the last week and a half or so on this road trip. 6-5 right now for San Francisco over Colorado. We're in the 7th inning. So before we get to some baseball, and I look forward to your baseball picks, Tony, NBA basketball, any thoughts on the Mavericks, Thunder, Pacers, Knicks, T-Wolves, Nuggets? Any of these games you like more than another?
I had a big play tonight on the over in the Knicks and Pacers.
Yeah, good call. So did I. It was a sweat job.
Yeah, of course. As soon as they got a separation, as soon as they got, I thought at halftime, I thought it's a gimme. Really, and I thought they missed a lot of opportunities.
It was a 10-point game. It was close. Yep. The only concern was a blowout. And like you, I didn't think it would be a blowout tonight. I didn't take the Knicks plus the points, but I didn't think it would be a blowout. And then, of course, it turned in. When it was 99-79, I was in a panic. I was like, we're going to get screwed again in one of these another stupid blowout games. I watched the last 2 minutes trying to cry home the total. Dude, it nearly didn't get there, Tony.
Well,
because it's deceptive. It's deceptive because you'll be like, oh, there's 2 minutes left and you only need 4 points or something.
What was your number?
There's not really. I had 215. So there's not really.
1 minute and 10 seconds. 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the game when you got it.
That's the whole thing. There's not really 2 minutes left in these games because
that game
teams don't play the final possessions. So, like, the team that's winning by 20 isn't going to shoot. So that's 24 seconds gone. And a lot of times, and it bothers me, I don't know why teams that are losing don't shoot, but we're to the point in modern NBA where the other team won't shoot with their last shot clock. So, like, you see it, Tony. You bet these totals, you lose 48 seconds at the end. So that's why I was panicking. I knew, I'm like, there's 2 minutes left, but I really don't have 2 minutes. I only got a couple of possessions to get this. And thank God I got there.
The highest scoring quarter in the NBA on average is the first quarter. The lowest scoring quarter in the NBA on average, the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
Much of it has to do with reasons, just like you explained.
We've seen it in the playoffs too. Yeah. Look at the Boston-Cleveland series. The games, they would explode out of the first quarter. It'd be like 65, 70 points, and then it would have a hard time getting to 205 after or something like that. They really would slow down. So the total tomorrow is
Gabe,
208 and a half in the Thunder Mavericks game.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, the total in that game is been out of my grasp. I mean, I really have. The first couple of games I kind of steered away from it. Although I like the Thunder tomorrow at American Airlines Center. I just do.
You like the Thunder on the road, getting 3.5?
I do. Yes, I do. I like them plus money. I just take the plus 128 or 130 that I saw earlier this morning.
Plus 145.
Even better. Even better.
I don't agree with you, but I'm just letting you know.
That's okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't want people to. I got his opinion, but I don't want people to think I was endorsing it. I'm on Dallas, but yeah.
If I cared about people agreeing with me all the time, I would seriously be a lonely man.
It's better to be a lone wolf in this world.
Yeah, you're damn right it is. You're right.
So I brought this up earlier. For people who were worth us, and some affiliates only joined us in the last hour of the program. We're on for the full duration on Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and television networks, and more. But the New York Knicks, I was kind of surprised, Tony, how light the number was. Immediate, and the game didn't even end actually tonight. And reputable, yeah, like sportsbooks already had a number up before. It opened up at 3. New York Knicks -3. I was surprised it was that low.
Do you know?
It came
why
down.
I think it's that light?
It's 2 right now.
I think that light? Yeah, I wanted to get to 5. I saw it wasn't a 5, 5.5. It would have been a 5, 5.5, but there's a reason why it wasn't. And there, as a kid, he's not going to play Sunday. I don't think he's going to play. He's in and out all game tonight. He got an ab injury. Did you watch any of the game?
Yeah, I watched the game. We just talked about the game. I had money on the game.
I mean, you watched it fully. I mean, you said you watched the last 2 minutes is what you told me. You said you watched the last 2 minutes.
No, I did. I did watch. Yeah, I was watching the game tonight, yes.
So you didn't tell me you watched the whole game. I watched almost every minute of the game, But I understand perfectly why the number is what it is. And I like the Pacers to take that series simply because of what you saw tonight. I think that this Knicks team, listen. Oh yeah, if you watch the last 2 minutes of the game, anybody beyond the first or second rotation for the Knicks, this is not a deep team.
Well, they're running out of bodies, but they did say after Josh Hart. No, but it's not. They're not. It's not a guarantee he's out. He won't be 100%, but he'll play.
His strain abs are very difficult. You know that, Gabe, to play with.
They're putting pressure on him. I'll put it this way: Jalen Brunson says here, I would assume that he plays. It's Game 7. Jalen Brunson on Josh Hart's status. He said this about 30 minutes ago.
I would say the same thing if I was Jalen Brunson, but I wouldn't know anything. I don't think Jalen Brunson knows a thing about it. Other than he's hurt.
Well, he is on the team. He is. I mean, more or less.
Devastating loss to Georgia Tech, where they made significant coaching errors, but Miami, with all of these changes, obviously looking to churn over this roster and upgrade the talent level.
Don't sleep on Rick Pitino. Listen, at the end of the day, the portal is the portal, Mike. Don't matter where you came from, it's where you're going and how much money can you get.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. And it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. So we're going to overtime in this game. We cashed that ticket. Good stuff. Plus 275. Now let's cash the Colorado Avalanche on the way out. And then we'll take the Dallas Stars in a Game 7. Although anything can happen in a Game 7. Same thing with the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. Down 3-2. Edmonton wins on Saturday. Who knows what happens on Monday in Vancouver after. Right? Game 7 in hockey, very, very dangerous, man. The goalie can step up and steal it. You end up in overtime. Even right now. Like, anything can happen. They're going overtime. Right? Who knows who's going to win? One mistake, Tony. That's all it is. And it always is one mistake.
We're having too many men on the ice 7 times in one game, right? No, not one game, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm going to be honest with you, Tony. Just quickly, let's talk about that. Gabe, do you know they had 8 too many men on the ices all year? And they had 7 in the playoffs. 7. That's on Montgomery. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't have that many penalties. Figure out your what do you like? That was insane. Think about that. A whole season, Gabe, and they had 7 too many men on the ice penalties. Boston did in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's baffling. It's the pressure. Insane. It's fatigue. It's mental fatigue. It's on the players, though. It's on the players. Yeah. It's not the head coach either. The head coach doesn't run the lines. So, but it's on the players. Dude, they played 100 games. You play 82 regular season games. Now you played another 10, 12 playoff games. Like, you should be able to know when to get on and off the ice. But that's what cost the Toronto Maple Leafs in overtime against the Boston Bruins. They had a bad line change. One guy left and no one else did, and it left a void on the side. And then that's what happened. Yeah, and it's crazy. It shouldn't happen at this time, but it's going fast, and it's easy for us to sit here. Hockey is such a fast sport. You know what I'm saying?
I will say,
so it's going so fast. Happened. One mistake. And like I said earlier, people in these games, next goal wins. The looser team, you're better off. Like, if I was a coach in the NHL and I was in this situation, I'd make sure the room is loose. Like, I'd have music playing. I wouldn't be in this, all right, guys, the series is on the line. If we get scored on, we lose. Like, you just got to be like, all right, and don't sit back. The teams that are able to play without thinking too much, just react. Don't think. Just go out there and play. So as far as the odds are concerned, it's minus 120 right now. It's tough. It's easier said than done, though. We're sitting in chairs, Cam, right?
No, but the thing is, Gabe, we both played, and you're absolutely right. We had a coach that was a stress case, and we go to overtime. It's like, can't do this, got to do that. And then the other guy when we actually won the Carnation Cup, the guys go out there and have fun. You know your role. Yeah. You've been in this situation before. Let's play hockey and work your ass off. We'll win. And we did. Like, you're right about that. Like, you can't stress out players. Overtime is magnified, man. It's a big deal. So you got to kind of say, still have fun. It's up to
the captain, though. It's up to the guys in the room. Yeah. It's sort of like the Vancouver Canucks. They were getting tense. They were in the playoffs against Nashville. They were coming off a loss. Everybody was in a bad mood. They didn't play well. And he stole the goalie's street clothes and streetwear and put it on and wore it on the ice during the practice. So he came out and he's wearing this like crazy, stupid club dress shirt. And everybody started cracking up, broke, Tony, it's like a Major League Baseball dugout. right? The chatter's got to be there. The good, the positive chatter, not the right. And that's another that's easier said than done. People be surprised. Like pro teams talk smack about their own teammates too, and like, oh, this what a disaster. Like, or they'll talk badly about their own team. You can pick up a lot of stuff in a dugout if you're close or if you work there or if you're a lip reader. So, Tony, you talked about liking the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'll disagree respectfully, but I like the Mavericks to close it out tomorrow. So the Pacers, it's 2 points right now. Josh Hart's status now up in the air. Nick point spread down to 2. I don't know, dude. If it was the Knicks cheerleaders, I think the Pacers might choke here in Game 7 at the Garden.
Yeah,
I think the Pacers are a pretty good team. Do they have it in them? Can they beat the Knicks on the road here? I don't know.
I think, well, that's a good question. It's too bad it's not in Gamebridge, right? They've won 11 straight in Gamebridge. Now, after tonight, 11 straight, 5 in regular seasons. Now,
they
7
really do have a home court advantage. Those people in Indiana are nuts.
Yes, it is. You're right.
They're annoying as hell. Like,
they are.
They really are. Like, I rip Beverly. I understand why he hit him in the face with a basketball now, actually. Like, no, dude, there's a couple of fans, and they go to every game. There's one girl, she screams the entire game. There's another dude that just talks smack from behind the basket. It got to the point, though, where I think the network told him to shut up, like, or they moved him or something. Because, like, I don't know, the way Indiana is, the mics really pick up the crowd. And they're really right over you. If you'll notice, like, the fans are really close to the court there. Like, they're really close to the bench. And it's just one of those sort of, it's a basketball hotbed. They're into it. Like, that Pacer building. And they really, the field house, exactly. And they really abuse the visiting players. Like, they do, like, smack talk them and go over the top and stuff.
Yeah. It's going to be, I will say this.
But the game's not there, though. After all that, the game's not there. Point. That's at Madison Square Garden, where it's also crazy.
How come the Pacers really destroyed New York in the paint tonight? I mean, absolutely destroyed them in the paint. And that's what you're going to see. Pascal, I played him over again. I played him over his point total every game, and the only game I missed was – we talked about the game. I think it was Game 3 where they had that big separation, and he was 7-9, only scored 14 points, 13-14. Didn't play any in the fourth quarter.
He's been a stud since.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
No, the big difference, though, the second that OG Anunoby got knocked out of the series, I said, bet on Siakam props now. Not only is OG a great defender, but he was defending Siakam, and then on top of it, he was his teammate for 6 years, Tony.
Knows him.
In Toronto. He knew every damn move. Like Siakam moves. OG was already there all the time. It was like it was like this, and Siakam was like terrorized by it because he was like, he knows everything I do. Right? So the second OG was out, you see Siakam's going off.
I agree. I wrote it. I said, that was the turning point in this series is when OG went out. And they really don't have an answer. They have no answer for Pascal. No answer.
They still could choke on the road, though.
Sure.
Devastating loss to Georgia Tech, where they made significant coaching errors. But Miami, with all of these changes, obviously looking to churn over this roster and upgrade the talent level.
Don't sleep on Rick Pitino. Listen, at the end of the day, the portal is the portal, Mike. Don't matter where you came from, it's where you're going and how much money can you get.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I'll tell you what, it might be a naive take, and maybe it's wishful thinking, and I really don't hate the Boston Celtics or anything. I just don't think they're great, and I've been on their bandwagon before, and I actually said before the year started, I believe, that I thought that this was going to be the year, but they're too hit or miss. They rely too much on their three. Porzingis gets hurt. Tatum and Brown are kind of front runners. They're good in blowouts, and they're going to end up playing in close games, and Boston aren't good in close games, so I just don't really fully buy in. But the Pacers are an interesting team. They are a fun team, this Pacer team. But anyway, we can't stay on this forever. We only have a couple minutes left. We got to get our Preakness picks and I got UFL picks and everything here. Quickly, Tony, T-Wolves and Denver Nuggets on Sunday.
Well,
who you got here? 5 points right now.
I got the T-Wolves. I told you. Remember we had a little short conversation? Short one? I said Nuggets will not repeat. I remember we talked and you said, I disagree with you.
I'm with you, Tony. Let's roll with the T-Wolves.
I think the T-Wolves should have already
Plus
put them away.
165 on the money line.
Yeah. I'll take the plus 165, and I have them in a nice serious price anyway, so I'll take that. That'll be fine. That'll be nice tomorrow afternoon.
And Cam, you're on the T-Wolves in this game, plus 5 points. The money line is plus 165 right now.
I'm going to do both, Morency. We hit that spread bet. I'm all in on the T-Wolves. This is it. Denver's going to get shocked. T-Wolves outright.
I say tomorrow that the Vancouver Canucks are going to beat the Edmonton Oilers is plus 165. So really? I think there's another plus money pick. Vancouver to win, plus 165. We didn't get to, as far as Fury and Usyk is concerned, man, what a circus this has been this week. So Fury's father headbutted somebody earlier in the week. I get the feeling, you saw it, Tony? You see this in boxing often. Man, when Floyd Mayweather was on top of the world, you used to get Floyd Mayweather at pretty good odds against people he was going to beat because people didn't like Floyd or they wanted to see him lose. So it was like wishful thinking, and then they start betting it. And I almost get the feeling this with Usyk. I like Usyk. I think he's a good fighter and stuff, but Fury's in the best shape of his life right now, and he's just so freaking big. Like, Usyk's not a natural heavyweight. Like, there's a big size difference. Like, it's not usual that there's a 40, 45-pound difference, and there is here. So that's a lot. It's a lot to ask, for Usyk. Yeah. He could win, but it's a lot to ask. I think Fury's the play here, guys, in my own personal opinion.
I wish you'd have been in town for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I'm telling you, I look forward to that fight. Really do. I mean, I've been following Tyson. He's been
you taking Tyson?
Casual. I like Tyson. Yeah, I haven't done anything with it yet, but I like him.
I'm surprised you're involved in this trip. That's the biggest train wreck of them all.
You're telling me.
I'll tell you what. Tyson looks good in the training.
He looks good.
And I know that could be deceptive, but it is real. They're not just showing little clips. The thing with Tyson is Paul's not going to be stupid. He knows that Tyson can hurt him early, but Tyson's going to gas, bro, after like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. He's 57 years old.
He's been clean now for like 4 weeks, so he's been bragging himself. I haven't smoked in 4 weeks, guys. Oh, good job, Mike. Good job.
He's taking it serious.
Yeah. But listen, when you get inside,
his press conference took a turn for the strangeness the other day.
That was
when he said that he gets erections when he's around Jake Paul. Jake Paul really didn't know how to take that. Jake Paul was kind of like, dude, like, and he goes, Jake Paul just sort of looked at him and like, he goes, man, I'm going to knock this old man out. And one thing about Jake Paul, and I used to kind of, before he was just a YouTube guy, I was like, this guy's the most annoying guy in the world. And he can be annoying, but he's the one, number one, he makes a lot of people a lot of money. So it's not just him. So he puts his money where his mouth is. He creates these events and he shows up. He really is willing to fight anybody. So like people will say, oh, Jake Paul, you're beating up an old man. It's like, dude, he's willing to fight Conor McGregor. He's almost talked Conor into it by talking so much smack. He really will fight anybody. And if anything, Jake Paul is the one that has the embarrassment. If Mike Tyson loses, it doesn't matter. People are going to say, oh, man, he's 57, 58 years old, man. Like, so what? Like, he didn't prove anything, Jake Paul, by beating this guy. Thing is, Tyson really is dangerous still. And he could, like, kill Jake Paul. And then people are going to laugh at Jake Paul and say, you lost to a 58-year-old man. But the thing is, I don't think Jake Paul cares. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to stay away from Tyson. Tyson inside, that short left, nobody more powerful with 3 inches of give him 3 inches of space, and no one's more powerful. It used to be.
He is old, though. Let's not forget that. What's your Preakness pick, Kim? Who's going to win?
Tuscan Gold, locked in at 8-1. He's 5-1 now. That's my horse in golf. Gabe, don't sleep on DeChambeau. And Brooks Koepka's 18-1 live. He missed a lot of putts today. Let's get it.
Take the Vancouver Canucks tomorrow. Plus 165. Other than that, you're on your own later.
Devastating loss to Georgia Tech, where they made significant coaching errors. But Miami, with all of these changes, obviously looking to churn over this roster and